This is your help video for Math Quiz 2.03, Write Fractions with Common Denominators. Question number 1 asks us what the least common denominator is between 1/3 and 2/9. All right, well, let's start by looking at our factors, our least common denominator. Okay, least common denominator. Remember, that's the same as least common multiple. So let's list the multiples of 3. We start with 3, then we count by 3. 6, 9, 12, 15. I don't think we have to go any farther. So let's look at the multiples of 9. We start with our 9, and then 9 times 2 is 18. We count by 9s. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4, 36. Okay, we can stop. Now we can compare our two lists. Let's look at our list for 3. I have 3. There's no 3's in the 9 column, no 6's in the 9 column. But look, we have 9 here and here. They have 9 as a multiple in both the 3 and the 9. And that's the smallest number that they both have in common. So our least common denominator would be 9. Okay, you're just finding the least common multiple between two numbers. Question number 2 asks you the same thing. What is the least common denominator for 6 and 10? So let's start listing multiples of 6. You can look at your multiplication chart and see that you start with 6, and then 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. I think we can stop. Then we can look for the multiples of 10. Let's just start counting by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40. We can stop. Now let's compare our two lists. Well, 6, there's no 6 in both of them. There's no 12s in both of them. There's no 18s in both of them. No 24s. But look, we have 30 in our 6 column, row, and 30 in our 10 row. So our least common denominator is going to be 30. Now, if I wanted to change my 1/6 to something over 30, what would be my copycat fraction? Well, let's count how many times we added 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my copycat fraction would be 5 over 5. Then we multiply across, and 5 times 5 is 1, 6 times 5 is 30. What if I wanted to change my 3/10 to an equivalent fraction with the denominator of 30? What would my copycat fraction be? Well, I counted by 10, 1, 2, 3 times. So my copycat fraction would be 3 over 3. I would multiply those together. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 10 is 30. These are my equivalent fractions. They didn't ask you to do that step. They just asked you what the least common denominator is. So that would be 30. Here we go again. What is the least common denominator for 1/3 and 3/4? Again, you start listing your factors of 3 or your multiples of 3 and your multiples of 4. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and what are your multiples of 4? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now you have to compare the two lists and find the smallest number that they both have in common. And question number 4 asks you to compare these two fractions. You need to compare them. When we compare fractions, we use the symbol greater than, less than, or equal to. Now we can't compare their apples and oranges. You have to get the least common denominator first. Number 1, find the least common denominator. And then compare them. Whoops. I am not a good speller. I apologize. We'll try that again. Then you compare them. COMPARE. So you find your least common multiple of 3 and 6. 3, 6, 9, 6, 12, and 18. Now you find your copycat fraction to change. Look, it's 6 is your least common multiple. So you don't have to change your 4/6. It can stay this way. But you do have to change your 2/3 with your copycat fraction to make this, what are you going to multiply it by? So it is a denominator of 6. And then you have to decide if when you read across from left to right, if you're going to put your greater than symbol, your less than symbol, or your equal to symbol there. This is your help video for Math Quiz 2.03.